Hello, everybody. I'm Jason.
Hi, I'm Solomon.
Hi, I'm Mason.
I'm Tristan,
And we're easy going.
How long does it take you to usually make a trip? For me, it takes usually a few hours, and there's usually hundreds of tabs, a bunch of spreadsheets, and everything's a complete mess. Well, that's what easygoing is for. We want to make sure that making a new trip is simple and as fast as possible. Easygoing plans on making a trip as simple as just 3 steps. Step 1. Add in all the information and locations you want to visit. Step 2. Let our app do the generation for getting information about routes and optimizing it if you so wish for it to do so. And step 3. Review your itinerary before exporting it to a Google Calendar for you to use on any trip whenever you want. Upon launching the app, you'll see our beautiful login screen. And once logging in, you'll be greeted by this home screen right here. On our home screen, you'll see that we have recommended locations from AI, which here you can filter by things to do, foods, and other categories. Here you can save them and bookmark them for later use. On the bottom, you'll see our navigation bar, which has 5 screens you can go in total. This one right now we're on is the home screen. And from there, we can navigate to the bookmark screen, where here you can see all the locations you saved. On the third tab, here you'll see our AI-powered bot, GoBot, which here you can ask them any questions about the app, any locations you may want to visit, or just trip-related questions in general. On the fourth screen, you'll be able to see all the existing trips you've made in the past. Here, you can edit trips, delete them, rename them, or by clicking the 3 buttons, you can additionally go to our budget manager. In our budget manager screen, here you'll be able to track all your expenses that you've planned for one trip. You can add expenses, delete them, or view them by different categories such as hotels, transportation, other, and so on. Navigating back to the tabs, we'll go back to our last screen, which will be our accounts page. Here you can edit your profile, turn on things such as dark mode and optimizations checks, and change anything about your profile that you may want.
Now let's actually go make a trip using easygoing. First off, we want to go back to the home page, and on here just hit the new trip button to go and create a new trip. Once you've done that, you'll be optionally prompted to add a name for your trip, which you can set later in the calendar tab if you want to. Once that's out of the way, you'll be prompted to put in the main information about your trip, which can be a city, state, or country as the location. So in our case, we're just going to put in New York real quick. The set of dates that you plan on going for this trip, and then the overall budget for the entire trip. And once all that information's in there, just hit the Start Planning button and it'll bring you to our Add Edit Destination screen. Now that this screen is loaded, you'll see a lot of different information, but most importantly, these text boxes up at the top. The first one being the origin, and this is where you want to start your trip at. So it's your hotel, where you're at right now, just wherever you want the trip to start from, that's what we're going to set. So we're going to click the text box here, and I'm just going to pick a random hotel here in New York. The second text box is yet again the date range for the trip. If you maybe made a typo the first time through or something changed, you want to change it, this is where you go to change that information. And the final text box right here is the budget, which is yet again the overall budget of the trip, just in case you mistype that as well. With all this stuff up top out of the way, you want to go actually add the rest of the destinations that you might want to visit. The way we do this is hitting this nice little plus button right here, and we'll be asked to either add directly or import from our saved bookmark locations, which you can bookmark from the main screen. I'm just going to add a destination for simplicity here, and we're going to go to Madison Square Garden. I'm going to go type in Madison Square Garden. You can see it is auto-filling right now, and then you can name it whatever you want to name it. I'm just going to name it Madison Square, and then the duration for how long you want to stay there, and a priority. If you plan on using our optimization features in our app, the lower the priority number, the more likely it will stay. So if you have a 1 for priority, it will never get removed. If you have like a 5, it means maybe I don't necessarily need to do this if there's no time left in the day. And from here, I'm going to go add in this destination and add in a few more. And once we have all of our destinations in place, we can go hit generate itinerary to go to the next screen. But before we do that, I want to point out this optimize checkbox, where if you check it on, the order of everything will change because we'll pick the most optimal route with the least amount of travel time between every destination for you. If you want things in the order that you have them, make sure this is unchecked. And then we're going to hit generate itinerary and go off to the next screen.
During this time, easygoing will be gathering information about your trip, such as the routes and the destinations. If you clicked on optimize, it will also be optimizing during this time. Now, once the map has loaded up, you will see that it shows all the routes for the entire trip. If you click on the date header, you'll be able to see the routes for only that day's location. Clicking on again will show the entire route for the entire trip again. Now by default, the mode of transportation is all driving. If you wish to change that for certain locations, you first click on the location. When clicking on location, you'll be able to see 3 pieces of information. The first one is the transportation duration, second one is mode of transportation, and the third one is the directions list to get to the next destination. Now if you wish to change the mode of transportation, here you can click on the current mode of transportation and change that to anything else. Please note that for certain East Asian countries and forbidden territories, public transit may not be available and it will default to just driving. Now with all of these different colors, you may wonder what they are. So below we provide a button where if you click on show route colors, it will be a color-coded map to show which color represents which mode of transportation. Additionally, you'll see on our map that we are able to show all different modes of transportations for all different routes at the same time, which is something that Google does not provide. Additionally, if you don't like the current order of the destinations, you can reorder them with the up and down buttons provided underneath each location. Please note that you cannot reorder the origin. Here, once you're done with all the customization, you can hit Review Itinerary to move on to our next screen.
From here, you'll be brought to our review itinerary screen. You'll see nice drop-down menus for every individual day. If you click one of them, you'll see all the different destinations, the mode of transport as a nice little icon, and how long it will take to get between those destinations. From here, you really have 2 main options. Number 1, if you hit the check mark, you'll go back to the home screen and you'll save all the details of your trip. Number 2, if you hit this nice little share icon in the top corner, you'll be able to export an ICS file, which you can then use on any calendar app, such as Google Calendar right here, where once we have our ICS file, we hit open with Google Calendar, and you can see it actually puts in every destination with the exact amount of time and location just for you automatically, so that whenever you're going anywhere in a trip, you can just pull up Google Calendar and know where to go next.
And with that, congratulations! You've managed to make a new trip with easy going.
The architecture of our app is split up into 3 main components. We have the front end, the back end, and then with the back end, we have the external services that we use. The front end is very simple. It's a React Native Expo app, which sends requests to our back end and gets back responses, and it also authenticates with Firebase. Now looking into our back end is where it gets a bit more complicated. We're using AWS's EC2, RDS, and S3. Now we have a Node.js server running in an EC2 instance, which receives the requests from our app. From there, it can verify the authentication using Firebase, and then it can either query our database, which contains all the trip data, or send out requests to our external services like the Google Maps API or the OpenAI API. We also have a GitLab runner on the same EC2 instance to help deploy the backend whenever any kind of change is made on our GitLab repo. We also have our S3 bucket for caching photos gotten from Google Maps. This makes it so we can quickly fetch photos that we've already gotten without having to do a lengthy network call back to the Google Maps API.
Overall, in order for our team to be successful, we did a number of things, one of them which was user studies, which random people tested our app and gave us useful feedback for us to improve our app. In addition to user studies, we followed good development practices, meeting at least once a week to discuss what we did and plans for the future for our application. This contributed to the success of our app, which resulted in about 1,000 commits and over 200 issues resolved in our GitLab repository.
Overall, I think I speak for the whole team when I say we're very happy with how our app turned out. It was very nice to meet the rest of the team and to work with them over this last year, develop a really amazing product that we're all very, very proud of. And we're very thankful to have had this opportunity to really just make something great and make something together. We hope that everyone watching is able to use our app and have an easy time planning out their own trips using Easygoing. And overall, that everyone, of course, keeps it easy going.